Notice, for example, if you go into the Independence Hall, there's an election box from a third-party system that says, Save City Hall and Save Independence Hall to keep our historic sites alive. Why is it that the city uses the money to keep the government buildings up, but we can't use the money to keep the history buildings up, so we have to rely on third parties? So when the banks fail, they fail, and so then it's historic sites.
All right, you have me for a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. Great question. Not exactly sure where the banks fall into that. The Independence Hall, for example, is within the jurisdiction of the National Park Service, and so they're, of course, primarily funded by the federal government because of the nature of that building. City Hall, we've, for the most part, paid for the renovations and exterior care of the hall. One day there will be no scaffolding around City Hall. I look forward to that day. So city taxpayers are taking care of that. National Park Service, of course, does encourage donations to that facility, the Liberty Bell, and a number of others. But also, I think that there are some wonderful opportunities for public-private partnership. You're going to see more of those, especially on the government side of public-private partnerships. It's why we link with the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation to help us maintain the 3 of our 5 ice rinks because we couldn't do it ourselves. So I kind of generally see public-private partnerships as a positive thing, not a lack of interest by the city government, but trying to encourage more interest on the public side. So that's very insightful. Yes, sir.
My question is more relative to the youth, since we're having so many problems, the budget cuts with public recreations and libraries, a lot of things that affect the youth. Everybody's looking for things for them to be involved in. I'm wondering if the city has a plan in place as a trade-off, maybe to get the youth involved in something other than, something else that they can be involved in, something towards building citizenship.
What kinds of things do you think we should do?
I think that if you take, you're going to take something from the youth, put something in place, give them an opportunity to, serve the community, do public service for the community, but give them some type of incentive where it's actually going to help them along in becoming citizens and to give them a start at preparing for jobs. A lot of our teens, if they can't find regular work, they can't find opportunities to do volunteer work, they're just out on the street.
Do you think a lot of young people would get into community service?
If a lot of our young people already, they want it. They want to be out there. They want to be involved in things. But when there's no opportunities for them, and there's not enough avenues created to give them that opportunity, they're not. They have nowhere to go.
As a block captain, let me ask a question. Do you have community service opportunities for the kids on your street or in the neighborhood? I mean, what can be done at the grassroots level? Let's put the government aside for a second.
Well, at the grassroots level, I'm a PAL director. And at the grassroots level, what I actually do is I have some of the children that come in and, as I'm teaching them about citizenship, we'll go out on our block that our PAL center is located at, and we'll clean up. Maybe if there's a program like we have, picking up tires and things like that. But if you get the kids to come out and actually, promote that, promote the citizenship, promote them being involved and actually, maybe they get a certificate or a gift card or something after they clean up their neighborhood, maybe that'll help, get them involved. It won't cost you as much, as provide the other services, but it will allow you to keep services and keep the youth involved.
Any thoughts or reaction to that? Yes, sir.
Very good program. What we need is faith organizations to get involved in that, which would be awesome. 59th Street, 1500. I saw you when you bought your washing machine. 52nd Street.
He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. I was there next day.
Faith organization on our block, 1500 block of North 59th Street. We're about to tear down that building.
59th in Hobart?
No, actually, Lansdowne, 159th Street, across from St. Louis.
Right.
If there's any block captains in this area that need a meeting place, you can come there for free, no charge. We have a bunch of youth basketball teams, this team, that team. Youth want to get involved. They really do. But we need the gentleman to step to the plate and say, hey, come on, let's go, let's get this done. And it can work as that young man.
How do we do that? How do we make that happen?
It's not hard. Every male in this room that is a father figure say, come on, man, let's go. And trust me, they will come. And you will be surprised of the outcome of that situation. Quick example, I mentioned basketball team. We're about, again, tearing down the building, build a $2 million building. You don't want no money from the government, none. It's going to all come from private sector. Thank you. And we're going to have classes in there, computer class, aerobic class, health class, holistic health, the whole nine. And it's going to be awesome. But this gentleman right here and this gentleman right here saw you that you normally don't speak to because you feel leery. I guarantee if you start speaking to him, you'll give his respect, and he'll step to the plate. And I'm telling you, this city is on fire for that kind of thing. If the brothers, the men, the grandfathers, Scripture said, call the young because they're strong, the old because they're wise. We must use our wisdom to grab them. But back off of that, Mr. Mayor, my question to you, when you was in city council, how many staff members did you have? And had that situation there, had that been trimmed, had that been the fat been taken out? Because I noticed in city government, it's the assistant to the assistant to the assistant to the assistant to the assistant. For instance, each congressman had like 30, 35 employees. That's ridiculous. I think it needs to start from the top in Washington. Talk about change. That's really change. So that's my question to you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. My recollection is, I think the number was 7. I had a city hall office and I had 2 district offices. This is the 4th district, which of course you live in. It's a pretty large area, so I had one staff person in Roxborough, 2 in Winfield office.